5-2, linear equations in slope-intercept form. Here are the all-important instructions, directions that go with one kind of problem in this lesson. Write an equation. What's your answer going to look like? An equation. And then it says, write an equation of the line that passes through the given point and has the given slope. That means they're going to give you a point and the slope. So for instance, they might give you the point 1, 1, and they might give you the slope is 3. Okay, so if they give you 1, 1 for your point, and they tell you the slope is 3, then since you already have the slope, you can go ahead and put y equals mx plus b down. And you can go, oh, I have a y. See that y? I have an m. There's the m. And I have an x. Here's the x. So now I have to put those in and find b. So I'm going to put 1 in for y, 3 in for m, 1 in for x, and I'm going to find b. So 3 times 1 is 3. So now I do minus 3 because I need b, and I find out that b equals negative 2 because 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Now I have an m and a b, and I'm ready to write an equation. So y equals 3x plus negative 2. Or you could put y equals 3x minus 2. Those are the same thing. Okay, let's try that again. Remember the directions? Write an equation of the line that passes through the given point and has the given slope. So they gave us a point, they gave us the slope, we have to write the equation. So the first thing we need to do is say, oh, I have the slope, so I'll go ahead and find b. Y equals mx plus b. So y is negative 11, m is 1/2, x is negative 3, and b is just b. So, got to do a little math. Put your 3 over 1, top times top, bottom times bottom. So that's negative 3 over 2. So negative 11 equals negative 3 over 2 plus b. Now, go ahead and add 3 over 2 to both sides because I want that to be 0. So that cancels out. We've got b equals whatever negative 11 and negative 3 halves are. So the first thing to do is say, oh, well, negative 11 plus, make negative 3 halves a mixed number. So that's negative 1.5. So that must be negative 12.5. Oops, I just found my mistake. Right here should be plus. That's plus 3 halves. So let's change that. It's really hard to get rid of things on here, so I'm going to scribble out my negative. So that's not right at all. I knew something was wrong. Negative 11 plus 1.5. Well, negative 11 plus 1 is what? Negative 10. So negative 10 plus positive 1/2, what would that be? Negative 9.5. There we go. So, our equation is going to look like this. Y equals 1/2, that's our slope, x, plus negative 9.5. Or, you could say y equals 1/2 x minus 9.5. That's the answer, either one of those. Now, here's the next kind of problem. It's not really a new problem because we did this same exact thing in 5.1, but I just want to run through it one more time. Okay? The directions on this one say, write an equation of the line that passes through the given points. When you have 2 points, you want to write an equation. First, you find the slope. So you label your points, and you find the slope. 7 minus 4 over 2 minus 1. So that's 3 over 1, so the slope is 3. So now I know what m is. M is 3. Well, now I'm going to pick one of these points. It doesn't matter which one. You can choose. And I'm going to put it back in with my y equals mx plus b to solve for b, just like I've been doing. So I'm going to use the first point. So I'm going to put 4 in for y, 3 in for m, and 1 in for x. And then I'm going to find b. So that's 3, that's 4. So that's minus 3, minus 3. So b equals 1. Now I'm ready to write my equation, which is y equals 3, that's my slope, x, plus I found out b was 1. Done. Okay, here's part 1 of video homework. Now notice what I said in the directions. I said write an equation using what is given. In the first one, you have a point and the slope. In the second one, you have 2 points. So take whatever's given, do which process you need to, and write the equation of the line. Okay, now here's a graph. It says write the equation of the line shown, and it gives me 2 points. The other graphs we had in yesterday's homework, we always had a line that crossed over the y-axis, so we knew where the intercept was. This one we don't have a line, but what we do have are 2 points. There are 2 points labeled on this graph. Can you take 2 points and go through a process and write an equation? Yes. So it's just a different way of giving you the 2 points. It's just like the last one we did where you had 2 points written down, only this time you have 2 points on the graph. So you use the 2 points on the graph just the same as we've been doing. Now, here's another way to do the same thing. So far we've seen 3 ways. We had this way where they just listed out the points and we wrote an equation. We had the way where there was a graph, and the graph had 2 points, and so they labeled them, and we wrote an equation. And now we're going to write a linear function, which function is still an equation, and they've done it in function notation. So here's what you need to know. This means f of x equals y. So what they're saying is, when I put negative 2 in as my x value, I get 15 out. When I put negative 2 in as my x value, I get 15 out. So really, that's another way to write the ordered pair negative 2, 15. So what about the next one? When I put 1 in for x, I get 9 out. That's another way to write the ordered pair 1, 9. So now you have 2 ordered pairs. So you do it just like we've been doing it. You find the slope, plug everything in and find b, and write the equation. It's the same thing. Now, here's an input-output table. There's one difference on this table. Instead of putting y, they put f of x, but that means y. It's a normal input-output table. Could you take the ordered pairs that are on this table and write an equation? Of course you could. It's still the same thing. This is called a mapping diagram. It is exactly the same. Okay, anyway, this is called a mapping diagram. It means exactly the same as the input-output table. it's using x and f of x, but of course we know that f of x really means y. So that's really y. So you do it, it's the same thing. These are ordered pairs. You have three ordered pairs. -6, 6, -2, 4, and 4, 1. Could you choose two of those ordered pairs and find the slope, plug everything in and find b, and write an equation? Of course you could. Here's part 2 of video homework. Have a lovely evening.